Welcome to this explainer. Look, we're going to jump right into it today because we are tackling one of the absolute most frustrating, mind-numbing hurdles for content creators everywhere. Writing YouTube scripts that actually drive action, and doing it without wasting hours of your life just staring at a blinking cursor of doom. If you have ever spent an entire afternoon agonizing over a script, writing, rewriting, totally second-guessing your content, only to watch that video absolutely flatline on YouTube, well, this explainer was built specifically for you. We're going to unpack a highly strategic system that literally changes your entire workflow. So, we really have to start with the core problem here. Why do most YouTube scripts fail to actually hook viewers, keep them watching, and get them to convert? And by convert, I mean subscribing, downloading a lead magnet, buying a product, whatever your goal is. You pull up your YouTube Studio analytics, and you just see that massive cliff dive drop-off in the first 30 seconds. It is so demoralizing. The truth is, when creators try to speed up their workflow or just avoid the pain of writing, they usually fall into one of two really dangerous traps. These two extremes pretty much perfectly capture the modern creator's dilemma. Trap number one is the rambling and unstructured approach. This is where you just sit in front of a camera with a few loose bullet points and kind of just talk. It lacks pacing, there's no tight hook, and viewers just immediately click away. Trap number two is the modern AI trap. You go to ChatGPT, you type, "Write me a YouTube video about marketing," and it spits out this robotic, bland script that starts with, "Hey guys, welcome back to my channel." It doesn't sound like you, and it definitely doesn't sound like it was written for a real, living, breathing audience. Simply put, neither of these approaches work. Enter the solution, the AI YouTube script engine. This is a toolkit developed by MarketPacer. And let's get this clear right out of the gate. This isn't some massive, chaotic library of 500 slightly different prompt variations. Nobody has time for that. It is a single, documented, highly strategic system. It's designed to do exactly one thing: write complete, retention-optimized scripts that hook your viewers in 15 seconds and drive them to take action. And the best part? It does the whole thing in minutes, not hours. Okay, so the really crucial point here is the paradigm shift in how we actually use AI. You aren't just using this prompt to treat ChatGPT like a glorified typewriter. Instead, this engine transforms the AI into a dual threat. It becomes a YouTube scriptwriter and a conversion strategist. It completely flips the dynamic. Instead of you just barking a blind order at the AI and hoping for the best, this prompt forces the AI to hit pause, put on its strategist hat, and ask you a series of highly targeted questions before it's even allowed to write a single word. By setting the AI up this way, the engine basically guarantees a few core deliverables right off the bat. First up, it guarantees a script that hooks viewers in the first 15 seconds, which, as we know, is the absolute make-or-break moment for any video. Second, it gives you built-in call-to-action placement, so your conversion goal is just naturally woven into the content. Third, it perfectly matches your target runtime. You definitely don't want to be filming for 40 minutes when you only needed a 5-minute video. And lastly, it automatically generates all your extra metadata, like your titles and chapters. Let's look at exactly how that strategy comes to life. When you paste this single prompt into the AI, it immediately pauses and asks you these exact 5 questions in order. It's going to ask for your video topic, your main call to action, your ideal viewer, the tone or vibe you want, and your desired video length. That's it. You just reply with your 5 answers. But let's actually walk through these, because how you answer these 5 questions literally dictates the entire quality of your final video. It is so important. All right, questions 1 and 2 basically set the starting line and the finish line for your video. Question 1 is pretty straightforward. What's the video topic or the title you have in mind? Easy enough. But question 2 is where the strategy really kicks into high gear. What is the main CTA or conversion goal? Like, what do you actually want them to do? Join your email list, download a lead magnet, buy a course, book a consulting call? By establishing that conversion goal upfront, the AI reverse engineers the whole script, so the content naturally leads the viewer directly to that specific action. Now pay really close attention to this one, because question 3 is the magic ingredient. It asks, who is the ideal viewer of this video? The prompt instructs you to describe them in a single sentence. It wants their age, their job, their mindset, and their core problem. I honestly cannot stress this enough. This is the single most critical question the AI is going to ask you. This right here is the difference between a video that totally falls flat and a video that builds massive, undeniable trust with your audience. Let's look at a hypothetical example of exactly how not to answer this. Say the AI asks who the video is for, and you type, anyone who wants to grow on YouTube. Right there, you're shooting yourself in the foot. But this is what most creators mistakenly tell AI. It is way too broad. If you give a broad answer like that, the AI has literally no choice but to give you a broad, generic, totally robotic script back. It appeals to absolutely no one because it's trying so hard to appeal to everyone. Now, I want you to contrast that with a highly specific answer. Imagine typing this instead: a 30-year-old frustrated creator wasting hours writing scripts that don't convert. I mean, just think about the incredibly rich context you just handed your AI strategist. You gave it an age. You gave it an emotional state. They're frustrated. You gave it an action they're actively taking, wasting hours. And you gave it their core problem, scripts that don't convert. Armed with this raw material, the AI can actually write empathetic, compelling copy that speaks directly to that specific viewer's soul. And that brings us to the golden rule of this entire toolkit. Vague answers produce vague scripts. It's the classic garbage in, garbage out scenario. The AI prompt is incredibly powerful for sure, but it is only as powerful as the specificity of the answers you feed it. The more specific you are, especially regarding that ideal viewer we just talked about, the more the script is going to sound like it was written intimately for your exact audience. It completely destroys that dreaded clunky AI template feel. Rounding out the 5 questions, we've got tone and runtime. Question 4 asks for the vibe. Like, should the video be casual, bold, emotional, maybe highly tactical? This makes sure the video converts while still actually sounding completely natural to your own personality. You won't sound stiff or overly salesy. Then question 5 asks for your desired video length. Are we talking a quick, punchy update under 2 minutes, a 3 to 5 minute overview, or a massive 15+ minute deep dive? This guarantees you aren't stuck filming a 20-minute epic when you really only had 5 minutes of good material to share. So once you hit enter on those 5 answers, the engine goes to work, and what you get back is a fully structured, ready-to-record script. You get a word-for-word opening featuring a super tight 15-second hook. You get a clear setup that builds immediate audience connection. Your core content gets broken down into highly logical segments with their own subheaders. You get a really strategic placement of both soft and hard CTAs, so it doesn't feel forced. And finally, you get an outro featuring a YouTube native retention strategy, maybe a teaser for your next video, or a relevant playlist suggestion to keep them binging your channel. But check this out. The engine doesn't just stop at the spoken word. It actually doubles as your packaging assistant. At the very end of your generated script, the AI provides a bonus output section. It delivers one strong, highly clickable, algorithm-friendly video title. It gives you one compelling line of text to use specifically on your thumbnail design. And, this is super cool, if your requested video length is over 7 minutes, it automatically generates perfectly formatted YouTube chapters with timestamps based on the script subheaders. It literally packages the whole video for you. Now, let's talk about the actual math of video pacing for a second, because the engine handles it beautifully. It uses a strict mathematical approximation to make sure you never overwrite or underwrite. For example, if you ask for a 2-minute video, it targets about 300 words. A 5-minute video scales up to about 750 words. If you're doing a 10-minute explainer, it's going to hit around 1,500 words. And if you ask for a 15+ minute masterclass, it'll generate roughly 2,250 words or more. The point is, you know exactly what you're stepping into before you even turn your camera on. Of course, writing a 2,250-word script introduces a brand new danger: viewer fatigue. If you just stand there and talk continuously for 15 minutes straight, people are going to leave. They just will. But the prompt is actually programmed with a built-in retention strategy for this exact scenario. It automatically breaks longer scripts into defined acts or chapters, and it weaves in internal transitions. This keeps the pacing feeling really high, it constantly refreshes the viewer's attention span, and it keeps those dreaded drop-off rates incredibly low. And honestly, that brings us to the beauty of the actual daily workflow. It's just ready when you are. Paste it in, start writing. The sheer simplicity of this toolkit is what makes it such a game changer for a creator's daily grind. You don't need to learn complicated coding. You don't need to dig through some massive spreadsheet of hundreds of niche prompts trying to find the right one for today's video. You literally just keep this single prompt saved and paste it into ChatGPT whenever inspiration strikes. To wrap this up and summarize the core value proposition of the Market Pacer Toolkit, it is 1 prompt, 5 questions, 1 complete script. It's a highly efficient, endlessly reusable system. You can use it for every single video on your channel. From a quick, punchy 2-minute update to a massive 20-minute tutorial, it works. Why? Because those 5 questions ensure the output is uniquely customized to this specific topic and that specific ideal viewer every single time. So that leaves us with the ultimate question. Are you going to spend tomorrow staring at a blinking cursor, pulling your hair out? Or are you going to let a strategic engine do the heavy lifting so you can actually just start filming? The tool is out there. How you choose to use your time from here on out is completely up to you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Get out there and go create something great.